All right, welcome everyone. And my name is Susan, and we're going to do a nice little 30-minute Pilates class. And today we're going to be using resistance bands. But before we get into the bands, actually maybe I'll describe them. Now, when you choose a band, about 2 meters long, about 6 feet long, and find the resistance that feels good for you. You might want to get maybe a tighter one for your legs, maybe a looser one for your arms, depending on how your shoulders and how strong your arms are. All right, so try not to get something that's too tight though, because then you'll be working a little too hard, and if it's lighter, you can make adjustments. All right, so that being said, let's talk about the breath. Now, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. When you exhale, I want you to engage your core. So basically suck your gut in every time you exhale, engaging that whole part of your body. So when you exhale, a strong, forceful exhale like the letter H in hollow, inhaling through the nose out, thoracic breathing out to the side of the chest, exhale. That's it. A long, smooth breath. So inhale completely, exhale, belly button to spine, all right? I know it's hard to do. Every breath is the same. Now, we're going to do a little warm-up to warm up the body and really kind of, get connected with the breath. Now, Pilates stance, heels together, feet into a V. Now, for the first 4 breaths, I want you to make sure the thighs are tight, pelvic floor up tight, buttocks tight, belly button, spine, and I want you to visualize you've got a belt tightening the ribs. So just for the first 4 breaths, basically squeeze everything on the exhale. All right, arms to the side, relax the shoulders. Let's breathe. And big inhale, fill those lungs up. Exhale, engage everything. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze it tight. Inhale. We're only squeezing on the exhale. Inhale, release. And one more. And all right, perfect. Release the heels, roll the shoulders up, shake it all out. All right, let's do a warm-up. Now the rest of the warm-up, the rest of the class, I want you only to focus on belly button to spine. All right, ready? Let's go. Inhale up. And keep going. Let's warm up the arms and the shoulders. Get connected with the breath. 2 more. Inhale up. And 1 more time up. And down. And roll them out. Shake it out. All right, let's work. We're going to do a calf raise. Now here, let me show you quickly. We're going to come up onto the balls of the feet and come all the way down, back onto the heels. Really working on the strength of the toes, the feet, the ankles, and the calves. This is really going to challenge your balance as well. So if you want to find a little focal point, little spot on the floor, stare at it. It'll help you with your balance. It'll help you concentrate and focus. Now the arms, you can keep them to the side to help you with your balance, or if you want, you can bring them up to the ceiling. All right, ready? Let's go. Inhale up. And stare at that spot. It helps a lot with your balance. All the way up. Press down the balls of the feet. Dig those toes in and down. 2 more. Up. And up. Stay here if you can. Breathe. And down. All the way. All right. And you know what? Loose. Shake it all out. Roll up the ankles, shake the legs up. Now we do a lot of little stretches in between. That's just normal breathing. Slow everything down. Release the tension as it accumulates. Roll the shoulders up. Okay, let's do 1 more. Arms to the side, standing nice and tall. Make sure your feet are nice and anchored to the floor. Let's inhale, arms back, look over the right shoulder. Exhale, arms down, look forward to the left. Inhale, look over. And so this is a nice stretch. Keep going to the right. It's releasing, starting to wake up, stretch the shoulders, opening up the chest, the pectorals, and it's a gentle neck stretch as well. 1 last time to the left. Down, roll the shoulders up, shake it all out. All right, so let's grab our band now. Now again, what we're going to do is we're going to do sets of 4, and we're going to hold it for 4. If you find it's a little too much, you start getting shaky and you start losing your strength, or it just doesn't feel good, please don't be shy. Stop and rest. Okay, listen to your body, pay attention to how you feel, and respect your limitations. If something is really not going to feel good, you don't have to do it. You can do everything we're doing with the band. If you want to stop and just do it without the band, you can do that as well. All right, if it's easier on your shoulders, release the band and do it without the band. All right, now we're going to stand on the middle of the band. You can have your legs a little wider if you want. So what we're going to do here now is a lateral flexion. So we're going to go, forward flexion. We're going to bring the arms up. We're going to hold on to the band. We're going to come up, down. Now when you come up, arms are shoulder height, not any higher. Lower is fine if you're not that strong, but not any higher. Ready? Okay. Both bands, we're going to do both arms today at the same time. Inhale up. And standing tall, let your arms do the work. This is working the shoulders. Obviously, this is working the chest. Pectorals up. And next time you're up, stay here if you can and count, breathe. One more. And down. All right, let's rest the shoulders. Now we're just going to take a little break. So this is normal breathing. Bend the knees, just kind of hang over, wiggle the arms around. Release the tension in the shoulders, just move them around very gently. Grab your bands, come up slowly so you don't get dizzy, all right? Now that particular stretch position in our yoga class we call the ragdoll. So just kind of loosen things up. Okay, roll the shoulders out if you need to, roll them out. All right, we're gonna do one more, a lateral raises. So we're gonna come the arms up to the side, shoulder height, and down. This again is gonna be engaging all the muscles around the shoulder, but also the upper back, the lats, latissimus dorsi, so the muscles along your shoulder blades. All right, so again, shoulder height lower is fine. Even if you do one or two and you find it's a little too intense, just put it down, drop the band, and keep going without the band if you'd like. Ready? Standing nice and tall. Let's go. Inhale up. And now, if you find your band is too light, if you want to have a little more tension, you can wrap the band around your wrist, or around your hands, I should say, and that'll give you a little more tension if your band is light. And one more up. Stay here. Breathe. One more. Down. That feels, you can feel that one. A little fire in the shoulders. Let's take a little rest. Drop the band, bend the knees, and just fold it. You don't have to go too far. And just wiggle them around a little bit. Move them around. Release the shoulders. If you want an extra stretch, you can fold your hands at the elbows. And that'll really give you a nice deep stretch for the upper back and the shoulders and the arms. And come back up slowly. Roll the shoulders out. Okay, let's do the biceps now. Let's try some bicep curls. So we're going to leave the shoulders for a while, and the bicep we're going to isolate and just engage our lovely bicep. So here again, I want you to stand on the band again. Okay, now this particular one we're going to do both arms at the same time. Elbows tucked in, nice and tight. So I want you to visualize that your elbows are literally tied to your body. So I don't want your elbows out here flapping around, tight. Your fists are out. And what I'll show you quickly and then we'll do it together. Elbows tight, you're gonna come up, inhale up, and so I'm gonna do it this way so you can see what I'm doing here. Now make sure the elbows are nice and tight. You have to think about it, concentrate on what you're doing. Standing nice and tall, ready? Let's go, inhale up. And if the elbows stay nice and tight to your body, then we're really engaging, isolating the bicep. If your arms are kind of loose, you're still doing something for the upper arm, but you're not isolating that particular muscle. And down, back is straight, relax, keep going, up, and hold it here, breathe. One more breath. And down. And that is our lovely bicep curl. Now drop the band for now. Let's release that bicep. So what you can do here is just stand tall, bring the shoulders back, and just bring the chest out a little bit. Look up to the ceiling and let the arms hang. If you're standing near a wall or if there's a pole, you can also put your hand on the wall. Let's do this way and do the same thing, just kind of pull back. Really releasing and stretching it, all right? And if you want to do an extra stretch to release the shoulder and the whole upper arm, right hand or one hand on the elbow and just gently pull. Normal breathing, we're just releasing the tension, just really stretching things out before we go any further. Perfect. All right. And roll it out. Roll the shoulders out. Roll them out. Alrighty. Now, let's grab the band and let's give the arms a little bit of a rest and let's start working some other part. Let's work some legs. Fold your band in half. Now, we're going to do a nice sumo squat. So, I want you to take a nice wide stance. Feet are nice and anchored into the floor. I'm going to show you this one first. Do a little quick demo. We'll do it together. Now, band is folded in half. Let me see if you can see me here. I'll back up a little bit more. Arms come over and wide. So what we're going to do is you're just going to be pulling on the band a little bit. Okay, so it doesn't matter if the band is a little bit looser. We're going to be focusing on the legs. So we're going to do here, let me show you quickly. We're going to come down. And as you squat down, you're going to open up the arms and then you're going to come up. Now, when you're squatting down, try to keep your back straight. So try not to be leaning forward. Okay, don't worry if you can't go very far down. Okay, this is all about really getting a lot of fire into the larger muscles, all right? Working the buttocks as well. Of course, we're always working our core muscles doing this. So we're going to do 4, and then we're going to stay down for 4. Arms up, ready? Inhale down, open up the arms, and down. And don't forget your breathing now. Don't hold your breath. Exhale, belly button to spine. Suck your gut in every time you exhale. One more time. And now, the next time you squat down, stay here. Breathe. One more. And up. And legs together. Shake it out, roll it out. You should have felt that. All right, perfect. Now, let's get ourselves down. Okay, so we're going to work, get onto our backs. We're going to do a nice little move called the frog. So, I want you to get onto your back. Turn away so you can see what I'm doing. Now, unwrap your little band. And band's going to go on the feet. So try to get it nice and flat onto the foot. Onto the ball of the foot or onto the arch, it doesn't matter. Okay, now, legs are nice and straight, band is on the foot, elbows on the floor, arms do not move. Let me show you this one here. I'm going to come over here, I'm going to open, this is called the frog, nice and wide. I'm going to exhale, straight up. All right, inhale, open, exhale, out. Now the legs are about 1 o'clock. For those of you who are a little bit stronger, if you want to have your legs down a little bit lower, absolutely. But if you bring them down a little bit lower, make sure that your back does not change position, doesn't start to arch, and your belly doesn't start pooching up. If it happens, reposition come up a little bit higher where you're the strongest and the most comfortable, all right? So, this is called a frog. Let's start from this position here. Bring the knees nice and wide. Make sure your back is comfortable, shoulders relaxed. Take your breath now. Exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale out. In. Now, open, stay here. Breathe. One more breath. And out. Breathe. One more. And bend. Drop the band. I want you to give yourself a big hug right away. rock. This is normal breathing. Just stretch up that spine, release your back, give yourself a little massage. All right, and then from here, I want you just to straighten your legs, bring your arms over your head if you like, and just stretch your body out. Slow down the breath, slow down the heart rate, just lengthen everything. Release those legs, stretch the legs out, and your belly. All right, perfect. All right, so from here, I want you to bring yourself to a seated position. Come up nice and slow. You don't have to move as fast as I do. So now we're going to work some hips, all right? We're going to do two moves, one called the book, one called the clam. So I need you to take your band and fold it in half. So this one here, I want you to be very careful with because a lot of people have issues with their hips. We're going to do it with the band. If you find, your hips are a little sensitive or if you've got issues, you can do the same thing without the band. You don't have to use the band if you don't want to. So let me show you with the band. Okay, so I folded mine in half. You don't have to fold it in half, but I'm going to show you the end result and I'll give you a minute or two to get yourself all set up and organized. So what I'm doing is I'm just wrapping the band around just above my knee. I'm going to make one tie and I'm going to show you why. Because we just want to test the resistance before we make a knot. So I want you just to open up your legs a little bit. See how that feels. Now, not too tight, you cut off the circulation, but not too loose either. But you find that place and remember to pace yourself because the more you do it, the tighter it's going to feel. So a little bit loose is always fine. Okay, so find the position that feels good. And then once you do that, make your knot. Okay, there we go. Now, like I said, if you find you want to do this without the band, you're still going to be in the same position. So now I want you to lay on the side of the mat. Now, laying on the side of the mat, I have actually a double mat here, so it's a little bit thicker. If you find this is really uncomfortable for your hips, okay, because it doesn't matter how much padding we have, everything still feels kind of hard anyways. And I always supply a little extra padding to my students just to make it a little more comfortable on that hip. So you can use a thin pillow, a thin blanket, or a thicker mat. Pilates, it doesn't matter, okay? It's all about comfort as well. So that being said, I want you to lay along the back of your mat. Knees bent, just like this, all right? Now the head is in the hand, or if you want, you can have your head down here if you'd like, all right? Now, hips are nice and square, knees are lined up, get your top hand on the floor. This is your kickstand, this is your stabilizer. This is gonna help you keep from moving. I want you to try and be completely still, all right? Focus on exactly what you're doing. The one leg, the one hip, all right? So with the clam, we're gonna keep the heels together. You're gonna open and close. That's it, all right? So, like I said, if you find it's too intense, do one or two and stop and rest. Don't worry about it. We're doing 4. We're gonna hold for 4. Ready? Inhale up. Exhale. Remember the breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, suck the gut in. Kiss your spine with your belly button. Keep going up and really working all the muscles around the hip, pelvic floor muscles, buttocks, core muscles as well. You can feel your thighs. And next one up, stay here, breathe. And down. All right, we're gonna take a quick little rest to stretch. Take the top knee and just bring it onto the floor. If you want, you can straighten the bottom one. If you want, you can come all the way down. Take a quick little rest. That's normal breathing. Slow everything down, just rest. Take a second just to kind of stretch everything out. You should feel a little bit of a little bit of movement, a little bit of tension because we're really working the muscles. So we're gonna release it and then keep going, all right? If you find you have to stay in the stretch a little longer, take an extra second or two if you'd like. Now the next one we're going to do, we're going to still work a little more fire into that hip. We're going to do a book. Now the book, you're going to release the foot like this. Now when you bring your foot up, make sure your foot doesn't come way up here. Everything lines up to the hip, all right? And if you go a little bit lower, that's fine as well. Ready? Inhale up and try to relax. Close your eyes if that helps you focus on your breath. Close your eyes if you like. if you want, find yourself a little focal point, something to stare at. Concentration, centering, breath, precision, and control. One more time up, breathe. This is our 5 principles of our Pilates practice. Now working with the bands is a little different. We normally work on the mat and down. Now from here, let's go onto our bellies. Just a little variation in our Pilates practice. Now from here, just lay on your belly, pelvis and hips into the floor. You can rest your chin on your stacked hands or lift your head up if it's a bit stuffy down there. And we're going to work our buttocks from here. So I want you to keep your knees on the floor, bring your feet slightly off the floor, not way up here, just hovering off the floor. We're just going to click our heels, that's it. These are called heel beats to isolate and engage our buttocks, our glutes, okay? So we're going to do 8 of them. So we're going to click the heels as fast as you can, but I want you to continue with your slow, controlled Pilates breath. Ready? Let's go. Just really isolating the buttocks and the glutes. And these are called heel beats. Keep going. If you find it's a bit too intense, just don't click your heels as fast. You can slow down if you'd like. All right, and let's do 3 more. And down, rest. Relax your buttocks, relax your knees and your... All right, so we're gonna do a little stretch before we go to the other hip. This is called our little shell, all right? So come up nice and slow, very gently. Kind of hard to move your knees, so just lean back a little bit. Just a little bit like that. That's all. If you want, you can come on your forearms or just like this. So this is called the shell. And this is a nice little stretch. This is going to stretch your spine out, stretch out your back, your buttocks, your hips. It's a nice little, it's similar to child's pose in yoga, but you don't have to put your head on the floor. It's just a little stretch. All right. When you're ready, let's very gently shift ourselves around and let's try the other hip now. All right, same thing. If you find one hip is a little bit easier to work with, and if you find the other hip is going to be a little bit, you're a little worried about it, just get out of the band and do it without the band. That's all. All right. Comfortable along the back of the mat. Knees are lined up. Hips are nice and lined up. Just because I don't want you to have your hips twisted forward or kind of leaning back. Line it up so that you're nice and safe. Ready for the clam. Heels together. Let's go. Inhale up and... Pilates is all about strengthening your body. Really strengthening the core muscles, your abdominals, your lower back. Everything works together. A bunch of things, other little muscles as well, but really focusing on getting a little bit of power into that core. And next time you're up, stay here. Breathe. And down. And rest. A little rest. Just relax. All right. Quick little rest. Let's go for our book now. Ready? Let's go. Inhale up and down. Keep the breath going. Big inhale, exhale. Belly button to spine. Suck it in. And up. Stay here. And down. All right, let's roll onto our backs. And I want you to wiggle out of your band. We're going to do some nice stretches for those lovely hips. This is called the reverse pigeon. Left leg up, you can keep your knee bent. Right foot onto the left knee. One hand on the right knee, one behind the left thigh, and gently pull. You don't have to tug, just pull a little bit. This is reverse pigeon. This is a wonderful stretch. We're going to stretch up that right hip area, the thigh as well, the buttock, pelvic floor, belly, lower back, but focusing on the hip. If you need a deeper stretch, pull a little more or less. And when you're ready, you can go to the other side. This is normal breathing. It's just a stretch. Other side. This is a really good stretch to release your sciatic nerve. If you have issues with that, this is a lovely A lovely stretch for that. Perfect. And go right into your hug and rock. Release that spine, stretch out the back muscles. Also, this is a nice stretch for your thighs, your hips, and your buttocks as well. And then when you're ready, straighten it out, stretch it out. Now you can have your arms over your head if you want. You can have the arms to the side. It doesn't matter. But just lengthening, releasing the belly, the back, the thighs, the hips. Just stretch it all out. Make yourself nice and long. Perfect. All right. From here, I want you to bring yourself gently to a seated position. And we're going to get ourselves up to standing nice and slowly. All right, so we're going to do a few stretches. We're done with the bands. Let's do a few more stretches and we're done. All right, nice wide V. Now this again is normal breathing. Right arm up and reach. Lengthen the right side of the body, stretch it all up. V lateral stretch, I should say. I do this in my yoga class as well. And other side. Come up, right arm up, all the way. Stretch it up. So from here, we're going to do a V straddle split. Now, if you find bringing your head below your hips makes you dizzy, come down halfway. Doesn't matter, it's just a stretch. You can just go right here. Those of you who want to go further, come all the way down. You can bend your knees if you want, keep them straight. Don't worry about it, it's just a stretch. V straddle split. A nice lengthening of the hamstring, the back of the legs as well. Wonderful stretch, full body stretch, V straddle split. Like I said, if you want to keep your hands here, do it that way. Absolutely. Walk your hands to the left. Get a deep stretch into the left hamstring, right side of the inner thigh, right side of the body. Walk your hands to center, go to the other side. Come back to center, bend the knees, come up very slowly. Reverse the blood flow so you don't get dizzy, of course. And let's get those feet together and give yourself a big hug for coming out, for me and for you and everybody else, and a clap for our friends, and we're done. All right, so that is one short little version of our lovely bands. There's a whole bunch of other things we can do with them, and we'll do that later on. So thanks again for joining me. My name is Susan. Today is July 28th. So for those of you who come to my classes, my summer schedule starts again next week, August 3rd. So go online to the complex and you'll get the times. It's just a short summer schedule. I'll be offering a yoga Pilates class as well, which is half Pilates and half yoga. And that's a fun one too. So go outside, get some sun on your face, do some stuff that makes you happy. All right. Thanks again.